BELINTASH Part-2. The rock phenomenon with the shape of a small plateau in the Rhodopes, bearing traces of human activity. It is believed to be a cult site dating back to the Neolithic. At this stage of archaeological research on the site, scientists tend to believe that the plateau began to be used for cultic activities by the ancient population of the Rhodopes as early as the 5th millennium BC. Their hypothesis is supported by the discovered vertical cuts in the rocks, which are dated to the Stone Copper Age. According to archaeologist Dr. Borislav Borislavov and his team, it can be argued that the BELINTASH sanctuary is older than Perperec. According to Professor Anna Raduncheva, there is no doubt that the altar plateau dates from the Neolithic era. Because a clay Neolithic anthropomorphic statuette was found in one of the rock crevices of BELINTASH, and large quantities of late Neolithic ceramics are found throughout the central part of the sanctuary, and especially under the sheer cliffs on the plateau and the caves below it. The first archaeological investigations of BELINTASH were carried out at the Asanovgrad Historical Museum by the Bulgarian archaeologists Rosica Moreva Arabova and Georgy Velev in 1975. BELINTASH was studied in the 1980s by a team of archaeoastronomers, who, thanks to their publications, made it popular in Bulgarian archaeological science. According to archaeoastronomers, the plateau represents a large ancient Thracian rock sanctuary, ancient solar observatory, intended for the purposes of specific agricultural and religious activities. According to Stoyev, from one of the rock platforms, called the observatory, by means of an artificial and natural visor, two significant directions related to the sun, sunrise at the equinox and sunrise at the summer solstice, are fixed. Nikolai Dermanziev expresses the opinion that this hypothesis is highly vulnerable. The problem, according to him, comes from the fact that due to the great length of the object, about 300 meters, it is not possible to unambiguously identify the starting point, the center, of these observations. Dermanziev notes that certainly there are many more than one possible observation sites on the plateau altar. Let's say the appearance of a significant horizontal parallax on the benchmarks on the horizon is possible, from which it follows that the already established directions should be approached with caution. According to archaeologists Anna Raduncheva, Bistra Koleva and Kostadin Kasyov, who have carried out several field studies on the altar plateau. The sanctuary of BELINTASH during the late Neolithic era was connected with the settlement and the temple complex near the village of Dolnoslav, where the public buildings and temples were. And on BELINTASH above Sini Vra, the priests served the communal cult. In 2003, the Bulgarian archaeologist Ivan Ristov organized limited excavations, through which the presence of mainly Iron Age material was established. During this archaeological survey, the team of scientists is divided into two groups that work on different tasks. One group documented the rock cuts on the plateau, concentrated on the northern and central portions of the plateau. The rock-cut steps from the north-northeast are described, leading to the flat part of the summit, where there are traces of the square-cut sockets for beams which were the foundation of a small building. At two other locations on the plateau, the group documented building foundations, as well as circular beam openings through which a wooden structure was built over the two large stairwells carved into the rock mass. The pits in question are respectively in the northern part, with a diameter of 1.65 meters and a depth of 1.75 meters, and in the middle of the central massif, with a diameter of 12.10 meters and a depth of 2.8 meters. More than 200 round holes of different diameters and depths have been cut on the entire rock plateau, which are visibly artificially finished. The second group worked in the northwestern foothills of the northern massif, where a large mining excavation with a depth of 1.80 meters and a length of 3 meters was registered. The goal of the group is to clear the profile of the trench and reach the section unexcavated by the treasure hunters. Archaeologists found a large amount of ceramics in the excavation. During their work, they carefully remove the strata and reach a depth of 1.80 meters to a level unaffected by the raids. During the cleaning of the sterile level during the drilling at a depth of 2 meters. The archaeologists came across a pit full of black burnt earth and ceramic fragments similar to those already found above. While scrambling 250 meters north of the main rock mass, on a single rock ledge, the archaeologists came upon an incised graphite, shallowly incised rock sign, located at the steps of the sanctuary, cut 2 meters from the base of the rock. The length of the graffiti is 0.45 centimeters and the height of the individual characters is 0.10 centimeters. The gouging depth is 0.3 to 0.4 millimeters on the scale. During the archaeological survey of BELINTASH in 2003, mainly ceramic fragments and 2 metal finds, an iron knife and a beam assembly, were found. From the ceramic material, parts of bowls, pots, jugs, pans and vessels with multiple holes, punctures, stand out, perhaps strainers. The precise dating of the ceramic material from the first half of the first millennium BC is hampered by the lack of metal objects in the layer untouched by the treasure hunters. However, based on a comparison with materials found in the eastern parts of the Rhodopes and Dolna Struma, Castana's settlement mound, archaeologists date the predominant ceramic material to the period 7th century BC. End of Part 2. To be continued.